In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. There you go. You said the word to Carl Sagan.
Yeah, I think doing them quotes in the voice of Sagan would go down really well, mate. But yeah.
Which reminds me, I haven't got a Sagan quote loaded up.
Oh, I can pad out. So welcome, folks, to Warhammer Sunday with him, the guru, the bloke frantically messing around with his Carl Sagan bookmarks, and me, Festa 67's workshop. How do, folks? Yeah. Back over to him because it's his show.
Is it? Oh, God, really?
Yeah.
Give me responsibilities.
I have. I've given you full-blown responsibilities, mate.
That was probably your first mistake. The second mistake was to have done that the first time.
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone. It is Warhammer Sunday, as Cole said. Yes, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's that time of the week when Festa and I sit here and just paint stuff and have a good time and have a laugh and just talk nonsense for however long it takes, basically. And you guys sit and watch and have a good time in the chat. So,
exactly.
Yes, exactly. As always, it's me, this one, the one with the gob, and my very good friend Festa from Festa 67's workshop. Hello, darling. How are you, sir?
Fine and dandy, oh mate. Suave, windswept, and extremely interested, mate.
Slightly brusque, perhaps, or
yeah. I've reshut the model making workshop window because it's a bit taters, mate. Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Brusque, is it?
Bit round the old gills, mate. Yeah.
As the bit of a breeze around the gorbles, as they might say in Scotland.
No, I'm fine and dandy. I had my 5 minutes I've been left on my own before the live stream started, talking inane drivel, as you must have heard.
Yeah. For you guys that don't know, the way we do this setup is when we start all the pre-roll stuff, Colin and I can't talk to each other. So he can't see me and I can hear him, but he can't see or hear me. So he sits there and we're both sitting there like board.
Everything gets fettled with, doesn't it? And yeah,
it just waffles away to himself and makes little comments, and we try to make each other laugh. But
yeah,
so yes. But welcome to Warhammer Sunday. Yes. Don't forget, of course, before we get going, let's all get the rubbish out of the way, the usual nonsense. First of all, big thank you to my channel sponsors, emodels.co.uk. What are they? They are
your one-stop shop for all your model making needs. All of them.
Your model making needs. All of them are taken care of at emodels.co.uk. Link in the description below the video. Yes, you know it. And I'm getting all dynamic today, aren't I?
And we're doing really well this weekend, us two.
Everything with my pitch and tone. It's woo! And don't forget, of course, big massive hugs and big snazzy kisses to my patrons and channel members who pay my wages and literally keep this channel alive. So big thank you to them. If you want to support this channel like they do, you can go to patreon.com/modelmakingguru, or you can press join underneath any of my video content and support the channel directly. You can also do the same with Festa's channels.
Yeah, you can, folks, by heading over to patreon.com/Festa67's workshop. Or you can join me channel, become a member, and that gives you access to the Zoom off-air 24/7 hangout.
24/7.
Oh, that was quite a professional set of segues, that, wasn't it? Are we all right? Well, we're doing this.
I'm in a slightly silly mood today. I'll just have to warn you now. I'm in a slightly silly mood. So.
Yeah, I'm still recovering from the brunch.
Yeah, I like peas. Anyway.
Yeah, I like peas.
It's hard work doing that gallery because it's a long show and it goes on for a while. So
yeah,
that's why we're starting at 8:30. I always like to start a bit later when I'm streaming with Col after his gallery show because it goes on a bit long and I like to give Col a rest between shows. So
yeah, I do.
Like to have a cup of tea and a sit down. Yeah.
I do tend to waffle on the galleries shows, but I do like seeing other people's work. I find it's so inspirational, and I know I keep saying it, but I genuinely mean it.
You're enjoying it. That's why it goes on for a while.
And I love it. I love seeing everyone's work. But anyway, that's enough about that. This is your show.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, big swig of coffee.
You all right there?
Tastes shit when you do that.
I was going to say, is that going through the big shiny pink straw? It is, isn't it?
No, that's through the mouth hole. It doesn't taste as bad as tea if you slurp tea, but there you go.
Yeah.
Yes, so we're going to be carrying on today with our Leman Russi. What's the plural of Russ? Russ with an, how do you pronounce an apostrophe? Russ apostrophe. No.
Le Mans.
Ford would call them Leman Russ tanks as a plural.
Yeah.
That's how Ford would do it. We're going to have 2 Leman Russ tanks.
Yeah.
So we're carrying on with our Leman Russes. If you've not seen this particular branch of Warhammer Sunday before, it's educating Festa. What we're basically doing is, not because I'm good, I think I'm mediocre at best, but basically Festa wants to learn as many different ways to paint things as possible so he can use all those methods and adapt them to his own filthy little needs. He can do what he wants with them, and it's always
filthy, dirty, filthy little needs.
Grubby little paws. He wants to have as many arrows in his quiver. I'm all metaphors today. He wants to have as many arrows in his quiver. He doesn't want to know like 3 different ways to it. He wants to know as many ways, and because he happens to know me in real life, there's no point just watching a video of mine. He can actually sit down and do some shizzle with me while we're doing it. So I'm showing him. I'm not teaching him how to paint. I'm showing him how I paint, and that's why it's educating Festa. And we've done our Leman Russes so far. We've got base colours. We've got some chipping and rusting. We've got decals down. We've got the stripage. So we shall show you how far we've got if you've not seen one of these before. Would you like to go first, Festa, as you're the student?
Yeah. Excuse me. There you go. Right there, Bob. Just clear me throat. Have you a bit of that?
Right.
There you go. We got ourselves a bit of Leman Russ. See what I mean about the exhaust? See, they look all weathered in there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See, we got a bit of that going on there.
Mm-hmm.
We got a bit of that.
Mind, as Festa was referring to there, what you're seeing on camera, on a webcam, on a crappy webcam, on a live stream, is never quite what it really looks like. So if anything looks a bit pallid or bland or flat, it's probably not in real life. Like you said about the exhaust, they look really rusty in real life.
I showed them in the gallery earlier, and they looked all one colour, but
brown.
Yeah, but iPhones
in real life, they look like nice corroded exhausts.
Yeah, nice and corroded. Look at that.
How have you found it so far, my friend?
Thoroughly enjoyable, mate. Thoroughly enjoyable.
Yeah, I know you're having trouble with speaking today, so we'll give you breaks as often as possible. If you need a big swig,
that's all right, mate. You know the reasons why. It's all part of it, but apologies. Yeah. It's nothing to do with audio. It's just I've got a bit of a spazzy throat today, so.
Yeah. Which is why it's an advantage that he co-hosts with a guy who never shuts up.
Yeah, it's all good, mate. But yeah.
So yours is coming on really nicely. You've been having fun with it.
I have, yeah. We've got a bit of the old turret going there with the old. Let's put that down.
Hello.
Yeah. Well, it's getting back to pole polishing his helmet, isn't it? Yeah.
Was the driver German?
Yeah, no, that was. Yeah. So yeah,
I was trying to make you corpse on camera, but never mind.
You are so cruel. You really are, mate. But yeah. But yeah, no, it's been enjoyable, mate. You know, it's different. I mean, I've been looking at it and trying to remember how the bloody hell I did it. I've had to watch. I've had to watch some of it back.
That's the one downside without taking notes.
Yeah,
but so far, what I've shown Festa is how to do an airbrush base coat without an airbrush.
Yes.
Or get a reasonable post shading effect that looks like pre-shading. We've done some chipping. He's learned different ways of chipping. He's done some rusty effects. And he's done his first stripe, which is very impressive.
Yeah, sorry, mate, I was having a swig of tea there.
No,
mate.
that's fine.
Stripey.
Yeah, so we've done lots of bits and bobs. So he's learning nice. He's doing very well. So today, I think what we'll do. Do you have any sandbags on yours?
No.
You didn't want any sandbags on yours, did you?
No. I can make some out of some sculptor mold and add them. Sculptor mold green stuff.
Yeah. You could do.
How long does it take to go off, though? It won't have gone off in time, will it?
No, it won't have gone off. Oh, not to worry. I was going to sort of start with painting them because that was a nice, quick, easy paint job. But not to worry. We'll move on. What else have we got? Let's have a look. We've got to paint all the silver. We're not doing the tracks just yet. You'll notice the tracks are still black on mine. That's because we're going to do something special on them.
Yeah.
We shall. Why don't we? Tell you what. Why don't we get a base color down on the tracks? Because we need to get them base.
All right then. That's all right.
And this doesn't need to be particularly neat or tidy. Now, This is a technique I'm teaching myself as well.
Oh, right. Is this that fandangled one you was on about?
Yeah, I've done it a few times and I've never quite got it spot on right. So I'm not quite sure I know how to do it properly. And I'll probably pick the wrong colour. So what we're going to do later on down the line, we're going to use either enamels or oils to do the rusty effects on the tracks. So what we want to do to start with is have them as a grey colour.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was going to suggest the perfect grey colour will be Ultimate Modelling Products Primer Grey.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if the Ultimate Modelling Products Primer Grey in my bottle of Ultimate Modelling Products Primer Grey is actually Ultimate Modelling Products Primer Grey and not grey with white added, because I tweaked some of them. I tweaked the bottle of one of the primers.
Right. Yeah. See, I normally, if I tweak one, I mark across the label.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. So, because I was priming something the other day in grey, and I'm like, oh, that's exactly the right colour for the tracks. I've no idea if this is how it actually.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what would be the nearest colour to it.
Well, I'm
Celestra.
thinking Dawnstone's probably.
Dawnstone. Yeah, I've got some Dawnstone.
It's like now on camera. Take note, peeps. Like we were saying on camera, that looks quite light, but it's a little bit darker on camera.
Actually, yeah, that's a good shout, Dawnstone. Yeah.
Let me I'll adjust my colour a little bit because I might have my exposure set a bit too high. Perhaps.
Just going to put my sander shaker on.
A little bit better, maybe.
Sounds so wrong, doesn't it?
Well, just assume that the colours are slightly darker. They're slightly dark. Are you vibrating nicely?
I am, dear. Apologies.
Are you having a moment, darling?
I am. Oh, I can feel it always full.
You're tired and emotional. So you're teetotal. So Dawnstone might work. I've tried different colours. Now this might not work at all, and it might come out looking absolute garbage when we eventually get around to doing the rust. But I'm learning. This.
Do you know something? That is bang on, mate.
You reckon?
Yeah, I reckon totally, mate. Because I've got a pot of UMP there, mate, and it's yeah.
Okay, that means I haven't adulterated my pots of Ultimate. I've just realised there's another pot of Ultimate Modelling Primer Grey next to the pot of Ultimate Modelling Primer Grey, and they're both the same.
If you want to use Ultimate, say so. I've got a pot of Ultimate. It's whatever your choice is.
We'll use Dawnstone.
Yeah, okay. Dawnstone it is.
I hope I'm getting some commission for saying Ultimate Modelling Primer very regularly. I bet he's not even watching. God damn it. All this advertising I'm doing for free. So what we're going to do is we're going to... I know, always for the ka-ching. We're going to basically paint the tracks, but heed ye well, we're going to be a bit slapdash about it.
Oh, are we? I like slapdash.
Which is one of the reasons we primed everything in black first. What I would recommend is, if you get yourself, doesn't have to be a new one, it can be an old one, but get yourself you've got some of the base brushes, haven't you? The little medium base brushes.
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah.
Doesn't have to be a new one.
Yeah, I've got one.
What we're going to do a wet brush.
Oh, look at you with your wet brush.
Well, before we do the wet brush, before we get all wet and sticky, I'm going to read some chat. I'm going to say hello to people in chat.
Yeah, that would be good.
Because we haven't done that yet. Don't forget, of course, we also need to... I've just realised, are we both wearing a grey sweater today?
A grey sweater?
Have you got a grey sweater on?
I've got a black one on. Why?
I thought it was a grey one. I thought we were sweater twins for a minute.
No, I'm actually taking my hoodie off because I'm a bit hot now.
Let's have a look. Annie McLeish is in, of course. Lynn Dipple was the first in and says, hi, Colin and Fox. Hugs. McLeish pounces on Lynn. You're doing a bit yiffy in the chat. I don't like no yiffing in my chat, please. People who know what that means, they know what that means. McLeish says, is das Princess gefahren am Wolf? McLeish says to you, that shade of rouge does not go with your eyes, my handsome.
Yeah, he's mocking me for my 120 natural tones of eyeshadow.
How much did that set of eyeshadow cost you? Say a really low number.
Yeah, it was about £6.50, mate.
So let me just put this forward for the general audience. He spent £6.50 on about 1,000 colours of Tamiya weathering pastels for less than the price of a Tamiya weathering pastel pack that has 3 colours in it.
Yeah.
It fully gets my support on that one.
Absolutely.
The police are outnumbered.
I will happily take the mockage because, but I don't sit there with my pinky in the air going, I'm having sensations.
You were having a sensation a minute ago.
I like peas.
I like peas.
I really, really like peas.
Nasal drip.
You are going to hell.
Yeah, these are all things that we will never explain to you. We'll say all these. You'll never have this explained. So just make the most of the little weird random things we say because you'll never find out what they're about. He also says that work today was conflict. I'm not paid enough for that.
Oh, really? Oh, dear. Yeah, that's the one part of management and that I do not miss.
In the grim darkness.
He said, she said, they're not talking to me BS. It's like, really?
Yeah. In the grim darkness of McLeish's workplace, there was only stress and war and tension and conflict.
Just when you thought it was safe to go outside.
He also says, he's really hogging the chat. He also says pencil pops, widget wobblers, and Harmon globbers.
Oh, nice one.
Alex Rivera's in. He says, if you want a challenge, build the Moon Gundam. Ooh, I've not built a Gundam for ages. But welcome to you, Alex. Welcome back. Muse is in. Big hugs to you, Muse. Have you done what you need to do?
I'm just about to. You can carry on padding out whilst I whilst I do that because I'm useless.
We also got Jeff is in. Jeff at Candygram from Mongo. I shall read the quote. For me, it is far better to grasp the universe as it really is than to persist in delusion, however satisfying and reassuring. I went a bit wonky there. But Jeff is our in-house Carl Sagan. I don't even know why, so we just call him Carl Sagan.
Why? Because he's suave, windswept, and interesting, and has just that presence, doesn't he?
Does he have like a red turtleneck and a corduroy jacket?
He just has a godly presence whenever he illuminates a chat with his presence. So
do we need to send him a red turtleneck and a corduroy jacket?
Yeah. See, I don't wear turtleneck jumpers for obvious reasons. I've got a bald head and it's not a good look.
You look like Gru.
Look like that kid out the Bus Street. Is it Bash Street Kids?
I think you look more. I think you look more like Gru from Minions. I'll tell you what, watching Cosmos, I'm really sitting there thinking, I really fancy a corduroy jacket. I don't know.
See, my missus caught me looking at corduroy trousers and tweed jackets with the elbow pads. And she just looked at me and she went, you old fuck. I went, what?
You have to say to her, look, when I was at school, I never really got a chance to do much geography. So now I'm taking an interest. Come on.
I said, there's just a practicality about them because they're hardware in fabric. She went, you are now officially an old git. Next step for you's beige, man.
But what she knows, really, the truth is that you want to be able to walk down the corridor going with cord pants.
Yeah. And not only that, you want a flat cap with the corduroy inlay.
Ooh, no, that's too far.
Yeah,
too far.
Yeah, I think we could rock that, mate. I think we could rock it.
I wouldn't go for the hat. That's a bit David Hockney for me.
Yeah.
Jeff says, "Ooh, rubber band war, cool." Flings rubber band back at McLeish. Rolls now. They're role playing in chat. If this was a furry thing, there'd be yiffing going on, and I don't hold to that. So that's goodness is not.
Can't be worse than me saying on the brunch about Paul Bretland polishing his helmet, can it?
Well, there's some things you've said in the past worse than that, but we will leave that one there.
Yeah.
To protect the innocent. Graham McRoberts in. Welcome,
Hello,
Graham. Welcome to you. Jeff says, I now want an epic Warhammer Space Marine figure with resin printed Carl Sagan head for the Imperial Emperor of Science.
That work?
Oh, yeah. There's probably a 3D printable Carl Sagan somewhere. Who else have got in? We have Paul Lewis is in. Welcome to you, Paul. Lynn Dipple, of course, we mentioned. Well, big hugs to you, Lynn. What's happening on a cold night, says Grum. It is a bit cold, isn't it?
It is.
Jeff Light is in. A very good evening, Fox, Colin, and everyone in chat.
Jeff.
And I think Joseph Kelly's in. He says, hi, Andy, Lynn, and Paul. Doesn't say hello to us.
Oh, I'm not feeling the love now, are you, mate?
No, we're just providing.
Not feeling any love.
Jackie and Kevin are in. Welcome to you, Jackie Crochet Art.
Hello there.
Kevin is in as well. And I think that's everybody in chat we've caught up with. So don't forget, folks, if you're watching this and you're not in the live chat, come and join the live chat. If you're watching it embedded in Facebook or Twitter or Patreon or somewhere, press the YouTube icon on the bottom right hand corner of the video player. You'll come and join us in the video chat room, and you can watch the video as well. And we will do our best to read the comments out as best we can. But if you need to catch our attention, it's all blurry over there where the iPad is because we've got our goggles on. So make sure you do at Model Making Guru or at Festa 67's workshop to catch our attention, or do a super chat by pressing the dollar symbol at the bottom of the chat.
Oh, you're good, you are.
Yeah.
You're so profesh, you know that.
And all pot noodles too.
You really are ultimately professional, mate. So much.
It's not. It's just the way. It's just the way I say it.
You're so much more professional than I am, mate.
It's nonsense. Right. Are you ready?
I'm ready, mate. You go for it, mate.
Let's get some wet brushing on the go. You'll like this. I can't get it open. I can't. Oh.
Please don't do what I did the other night and spill it, whatever you do.
Oh, it's hurting my thumb. Hang on.
Oh God, your sensitive thumbs.
No, it's so tight. I can't get it open. I've got to
Post it.
Vicar. It sealed itself.
Yeah, get your, as we call it, spudger.
Spudger. Get your spudger here. I've sealed up like it's not as bad as a Tamiya pot. Oh dear God, when Tamiya pots.
Oh yeah, out with a warm water job, isn't it?
Oh no, I've got one of them things in the kitchen where it's like designed to open on different size jar lids, and it's got one of them things.
Yeah, I've got mine under there.
I'm going to stab myself in the hand. I can see this.
Just there. There it is.
Ooh, that might be the same as mine. There we go. I heard a click. There we go.
A resounding click. He's out there now. Big
collar of crud. I need some tweezers to get that out. So let's get this crud out first.
Get your crud out.
For the next 2 hours, Festa and I will now clean our pots because that's much more fun than painting.
Yeah, mine's got the layer of stealth crud around the edge there, but
yeah, bizarrely though, cleaning out your pots is actually really quite relaxing. Do you find that? It's kind of mellow.
Yeah.
Especially when you get it's like peeling an orange and you get it all in one go. You get the peel off. It's like when you get a big piece of crud that all comes off. Right?
Oh yeah, you sit there and you go, oh look at that. Especially if you get it off in one go, you get the whole ring of crud out of the top of the lid.
Ring of crud. It's like a little moment of pride in your achievement.
Yeah, check your chat, mate.
Andy McLeish, £2 super chat. Posh, yeah, right. Burke's Gits. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Andy. That's very, very kind of you, McLeish. Big hugs and thank you. You bought me a coffee. Thank you very, very much.
There you go.
I will happily let you call me a Burke and a Git.
You're happy. You're happy.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, shut up. Let's do some work. Keeping me distracted. Right. So yeah, we're gonna do a wet brush. And here's how you do a wet brush. Get your brush, get the paint, like you do on a dry brush. And what you do is you just don't get rid of as much as you would do on a dry brush. You get rid of a bit of the paint.
But not all of it.
Yeah. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna go on the tracks, like the council kids near the train station. And we're gonna just roughly just kind of do a dry brush technique over the tracks.
Yeah.
And ideally what you'll do is they don't have to be completely covered.
Are you trying to leave the lines where they look like they've been panel lined?
Well, I'm trying to leave the black in the recesses where it's darker. But it's like it's like a dry brush when you try and catch the edges, but you want to catch more. Yeah. So it's really just going backwards and forwards like this. We're not dwelling on any area too long. It'll just look like grey with a black recessed shade, basically. And this is the first step, and it's dead easy to do this bit. And it doesn't need to be neat because we want it to be we want some natural variation on it. Doesn't matter if you put too much in one spot, that's absolutely fine. Just wait till the brush needs reloading and move on. Get some on don't worry too much about getting it on the sides. Give it a dry brush over the sides as well, but don't worry if you catch any paint on the actual bits of armor. Don't panic because we've got weathering to come and hide all that anyway. So if some areas are lighter than others, that's fine. If you put too much paint on, that's perfect. All we're doing
check your chat.
Oh, McLeish again. Have another one. Mockage guaranteed. Oh, thank you very much, McLeish. How did you type it that fast with all your little fingers sticking up?
Oh, I never said that.
Big hugs, McLeish. Thank you very much. You never said it, but you agree.
It's an ecumenical matter.
Yeah. Thank you very much, McLeish. You're most kind.
Because, you know, he does have the H factor, don't forget, where he can grasp me.
Yeah, but you know what? So do I.
Damn.
Which of the two grasping situations would be worse for you? Him saying something or me presenting video evidence?
You winning. You're the daddy.
Daddy or chips?
You are the super duper daddiest of all the daddies, the king of the daddies, the ultimate daddy.
There you go. You know it. So yeah, so work your way along. If to get the side bits, you can just do that dead quickly.
Yeah.
The beauty of doing grey on a grey tank is it doesn't matter if you get any on the actual armour because it just looks like an edge highlight because it's lighter than the grey we did on the base colour. So don't worry too much if you get any little dry brushy bits on the trim around the armour areas. That's fine. And if you want to do one bit a bit lighter somewhere, you can do that. And we want it to be. I'll go around again. You want it to be basically get into Dawnstone colour, but not as a uniform. We're not just painting it on to make the whole track like just uniform Dawnstone. Doing little circles, doing little patterns and swirls. Just going around. What do we do, Ted? Slap it on.
Slap it on.
I don't know if you've got a Ted button.
Slap it on.
Yeah, the folks would have seen that.
Oh, did they? Oh, you got a Ted button. Cool.
Oh, yeah. Oh, damn me. Of course I've got a Ted button.
Yes.
See what I did there?
I see what you recovered that very nicely.
I was quite impressed, weren't you?
Oh, thumbs, yes.
Yeah. Fudge me. I do have a Ted button, he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can hear Mama Fox creeping up the stairs.
She all right?
Hello, Mama Wolf. Now, I did say to her,
Yeah.
that is Festa and I streaming a bit. Who's your favourite? And she went, Ted.
Oh, bless her.
She was most amused when she did that last week. And I said, you were like, oh, I'll just cry through it. Don't worry.
Yeah, cry through the tears.
Yeah. Right. So, you might need to go over once or twice. Well, obviously, you need to go over once. Duh, idiot.
Yeah.
You might need to go over this once to paint it. Well, go over it maybe twice, little circles and shapes, and try and get the edges. It'll come out looking like it's had it's been like lightly dusted on, like sprayed.
Yeah.
A kind of light grey colour. It looks like it's post shaded. It will kind of blend into the rest of the tank. Well, that's where the beauty of the later stages comes in. You see, we're just setting this up for later. Setting it up for a fall. No, we're not really. Now, I've tried this several times. I've never done it to a point where I've been perfectly happy with it. So this is still a learning experience for me.
Oh, right. Yeah. I remember you saying before that this was a technique that you wanted to try.
But I didn't know how far you had got with it.
Well, I've tried it a few times, but it's never come out like I hoped it would. I've never been able to get exactly the results I was after. So
Yeah.
it could be interesting to see how we get on. So it might work perfectly. It might not. Oh, sugar. Let's go over that bit again. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on some little bits and make them a lot brighter.
Yeah.
Just like on individual links here and there, perhaps, and just in patches. Nothing uniform. Just in patches. So it's kind of randomly bright in some spots and light in others. You can do stippling as well if you want.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Stippling is quite good because then you get that random patchiness on individual track links. So feel free to stipple. I like a nice stipple.
Nothing wrong with a good stipple.
Yep, and if you're doing 2 tracks, that's a nice pair of stipples, that.
I see what he did there.
Here all week trying to fish. So what you want to end up with is some links looking quite bright, some links looking dark, some looking patchy.
Yeah.
But overall, it's just kind of random. And I'm actually going to try and introduce my own kind of technique on this technique.
Oh, right, yeah.
I'm going to try something new that I haven't seen other people do before, which is applying bananas to... No. Just to paint it with my ass. No, that's not it.
I worry about you, you know.
Yeah, you should do. You should do. Right, so... what you should have by the time you're done is something like that. Now remember, it's a little bit darker in real life. It's not quite as light as that, but it should look, it almost looks airbrushed because you've used a small dry brush.
Yeah, I've got one done so far.
Yeah, take your time. I'm not done too much on the bottom tracks because that's going to be sat on the bottom tracks anyway.
Yeah, you're not going to have what's his name under there, are you?
Yeah. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to rinse off my dry brush. Rinse my dry brush. Sorry, I went a bit house there, didn't I? A bit club.
I'm impressed. Good bit of beatbox.
Do what?
Good bit of beatbox that was, mate. I'm proud of you.
Rinse my brush off. Yeah, sorry, I'll stop now. Jeff's in. Jeff Light. Oh no, we know Jeff Light's in. Darren Edmonds is in.
Hello,
Welcome,
Darren. How you doing, mate?
Big Darren-y hugs to you, my friend. Now, while you're doing that, I shall now choose another grey colour.
Oh, we're going for a plethora of grey, are we?
Did you just say plethora?
I did, yeah.
I'm very impressed. I'm going to go for a colour I know you've got. We shall go for Celestra Grey.
Oh, happy days.
Yes.
That sounds so wrong.
That was deliberate. Now, what we're going to do with this one is a little bit different. But it's exactly the same, but in a different way. That's just nonsense. I'll just make a coffee, Fox. What I'm going to do now is exactly the same again.
Yeah.
Dabbing, dry brushing, stippling, but on individual links.
Okay.
Just to randomly change and lighten some of the links. So you can either do a little group of 2 or 1 on its own or 3 here and 2.
Yeah.
Just to randomly lighten up some of the links. Because what will happen is when we do all the glazing over it later, that should show through as variations in the level of rust.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because the plan is that we'll paint all these grey.
It's almost like a xenophile effect.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to paint some of these grey, some a little bit blue, and then when we do the oils and enamels later, whichever ones we do, that will be visible through the rust colours. So it'll just mean the rust colours look different. They look dark or light, or
yeah.
I've just wet that dry brush, haven't I? You spoon. Let's get a different dry brush. So we're going to do exactly the same again, but this time we're going to use more precise movements. Yeah, that is richtig. Sorry, I've been playing Wolfenstein, so I'm a bit...
Oh, you're full-blown German officer, are you?
Yeah. I was playing it last night. I was like, you know what? I've not played it in 15 years, or however old it is. Wolfenstein, New Order, and it's just so good. I killed an officer. There's one bit where I snuck into this room, and you can take people out like stealth kills.
Oh, right, yeah.
And you can walk up behind them and just take them out with a knife. But this one guy I took out, I walked up behind him. I basically slashed at the back of his knees with this knife.
Yeah.
So he collapsed towards me, and then I kind of cut his throat, and it didn't hide any facts from me. It showed me like...
Oh, it was full-blown gore fest, was it?
There's a lot of stabbing Nazis in the throat. There's a lot of that going on. Now, when you do this dry brush...
Yeah.
I'd probably recommend stippling a bit more than dry brushing, but it's up to you.
Yeah.
Again, you want to make sure you've got more paint on it than you normally would have for a dry brush, because some of them you want to be quite bright, like that. That one there's quite bright.
Yeah.
But it's all splatchy and splotchy because I've stippled it on.
Yeah.
Some of them you might do a little bit of it like colour. Some of it you can do the whole thing. One of them you could just paint completely Celestra Grey if you want to.
Yeah.
Entirely up to you how many you paint a light colour. I'm going to do one here where this one's quite bright, but then it fades over the next couple of ones.
Yeah.
You can do a dry brush, you can do a wet brush, you can paint. It's just to get some variation, and how random you want it is entirely up to you. What it will leave you with is when you put the rust colors over these, you'll have light patches and dark patches.
Oh, right, yeah.
So the rust color over these light bits will stand apart from the ones over the dark bits, you see.
Yeah.
So it's entirely up to you how you want to do it. You can do lots, you can do little, you can make it mostly light and a few dark, you can make it mostly dark and a few light, however you want. I shall leave that to you. But again, we're just stabbing on. And the reason we're not painting it and stabbing it is to A, keep the shadows in the recesses. And also just to make it look more random and patchy, because rust isn't neat.
It's keep turning it as well. That way your human brain doesn't make a pattern, because it's what we've said before, isn't it? The brain will always try to make a pattern. Yeah,
the worst thing a human brain can try and do is actually make something random. You just can't do it. You really can't do it. It's one of the, making something truly random is so hard that even like random number generators aren't actually truly making random. It's very, apparently it's been a challenge in computers for a long time to make a truly random number generator. And apparently I remember reading once, it's only recent that they've actually been able to make a truly random generator. And it uses various quantum mechanical principles and stuff.
Well, this is it. I mean, even algorithms eventually end up making a pattern, don't they?
Yeah. Well, most of the random number generators you get are actually just not random at all. They've just got so many variables that it appears random, but they're not really. Like you say, they're all algorithms and stuff. So it's apparently quite tricky. You have to use like quantum mechanical shenanigans and stuff. So I'm just going to do a few patches here and there. I've done a few light squares, not many. And what I might do now is just, I'll make some of them a bit bright. Some of them will be like real, just basic Celestra Grey, and it looks Celestra Grey, just to make them stand out. So basically, when you look at the tracks, you look at the track, but imagine that in rust colours, not in greys, and you start to get the idea.
Yeah.
You start to get the idea, you see, of what they might look like. Now we could theoretically do that in Emerling today, but once you put it on, you just got to leave it to dry. So.
Oh right, yeah.
But that's fine. I mean, you can hairdryer it. I mean, I'm sure we could sit here for an hour and just talk.
Oh mate, yeah, us two talk drivel as if we could.
I mean, we're going to have to anyway at some point. When we do it, we're going to have to counter that. So.
Yeah.
Hello, Mama Wolf.
Hello, Mum. Bless her.
She's having cheese and onion pie and chips for dinner.
Oh, bless her.
I've decided. I'll do a couple of random splats. It's very easy to go too far and just make all your tracks light colour. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter.
No.
Because all you end up with is a lighter rust colour, which is fine. So that's Celestra Grey. How are you getting on with yours?
All right. Getting there.
Are you splatting away nicely there? She also said hello internet to everybody. So.
Yeah, I like peas.
I like peas. Oh, don't forget, of course, if you've got a piece of, I don't know if you've got one, if you've got any tank tracks glued to the side of your tank, like a spare piece of track, make sure you paint that as well. I've just remembered, but I haven't got any. I did that on my Baneblade once. I painted all the tracks up, got them beautiful, then realised there was a piece of track on the turret. And I'm like,
oh, yeah, you had a bit, did you?
And there was no way I was going to get that look to look the same colour. Arse.
I actually don't know whether I have. No, that's not track.
I couldn't remember, so I had to check. I haven't got any, thankfully.
No, that's a grill. That's a bomb.
You're a grill. Grill!
No track there. Check the turret. No. No, I'm lucky, mate. No track links.
No track for me.
Hey,
I'm going to do the same again now. Next colour, Ulthuan Grey. I know you've got all these colours, so we'll go with colours I know you've got.
Absolutely.
Ulthuan Grey is going to be the third one. And again, it's going to be the same kind of thing, but maybe a bit more restrained than the other one, even less than the first one.
Yeah, less on this one. Just a light, brisk dustage.
As much or as little as you want. I'm putting some of it over the bits I've just done Celestra Grey, spangling it over, so it breaks that up a little bit.
Check your chat, mate.
Candyman from Mongo. Jeff's put $10 in. Happy birthday, Foxx. Jeff, thank you very much. That's very kind.
Yeah, yes.
It's not true what they say about you, buddy. It's not true what they
Big
say.
leveling up, isn't it, tomorrow?
52.
No, you old get you.
Do you know what I get to do to celebrate my birthday?
Nothing.
Take Mama Wolf to the hospital for an appointment.
Oh, there you go.
All day. Thanks.
Well, hopefully it's a nice birthday appointment where everything goes fine.
Well, yeah, it's just a checkup, so.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm doing a few of these. So some of them I'll just paint an entire track, the Celestra, to make it nice and light. I'm getting quite a bit of paint on the tank armor, but that's fine. They'll just come out like chips. I can go and I've got a bit of the grey on the red there, so I can go and touch that in later with some red or a rust chip. Some of them I'm just painting over the lighter grey, the Celestra. Which one am I doing now? I'm doing the wrong one. Some of them I'm painting Ulthuan grey over the Celestra grey, just to lighten them up in a speckly kind of way. I'm not covering it completely, so. But again, it's however you want to do it. It's entirely up to you, as and when you desire. So we'll just work on that. There we go.
And says to Muse, correct, he is just a kid. He is. Like Marcy says, he's just a pup. You are just a pup.
I am. Now, what I'm also going to do as well is with the Ulthuan grey, which is the lightest one, I'm going to catch the edges of the track with the brush like that.
Yeah.
Just to get like an edge highlight. You don't have to do this, but I'm not painting the individual links. I'm just
makes nice little edge highlight.
Yeah, that's where it hits rocks and stuff, and that's where you might get the lighter, newer, fresher rust. So I'll try and do a bit of that. And again, you can do as much or as little of this as you want. You're just looking for an uneven, random, patchy nonsense. There we go. So it's looking nice and patchularity. This probably won't work. It'll probably look like garbage when we're finished, but
it's all right, mate.
I've never been able to quite get the right grey colour.
It's one of those. At the end of the day, if it don't work, just paint over.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched others do it, and it's like sometimes it can look like incredibly like just rusty metal, and sometimes it doesn't. And it's like I've never quite managed to master the correct grey colour.
Yeah, but it's like anything. It's a fresh technique. We like learning new things at the end of the day.
Like the Fresh Prince that we are. Fresh. Yes, big thank you to you, Jeff, for that. Matthew Ward says, hi, ladies. Paul Lewis puts a £10 super chat in. Happy 60th birthday, Fox, you tart. You don't look a day over 59.
Yeah.
Back. Thank you very much, Paul. You're very, very kind. 52 tomorrow. Yeah. 52, yeah. And I don't feel a day over 7. Now, one more colour. And I don't know what I'm going to use because I don't know what you've got. So I'll let you do what you're doing, and then when you
carry on, mate.
No, I was going to say I'll wait till you finish, and then we can see what colours you've got that I can use. You carry on. I'll keep talking. Right. So let's have a look at chat again. Yeah, Matthew Ward's in. Welcome to you, Matthew.
Matthew.
Happy birthday, Happy early birthday, Fox. Hope you have a great day. Thank you very much. Did Mama EC Idaho's in? Did Mama Fox get a promotion to Mama Wolf? No, it's just it seems weird to call her by my first name when she should be called by my surname. So she's Mama Wolf. She's the Mama Wolf and I'm the baby wolf.
Absolutely.
Surname, not first name. It's like if your name was John Smith and your father was called Ted Smith, you wouldn't say Papa Ted. You'd say Papa Smith. Somebody pointed it out to me a few weeks ago, and I realised, yeah, it's Mama Wolf.
Yeah, we've just got used to calling her Mama Fox, haven't we?
Yeah. So yeah, big hugs to you, EC Idaho. He says hello all. Hi, Colin and Fox, and we completely missed all the comments.
Hello, EC.
Paul Lewis says about McLeish putting £4 super chats in. He says, "Oh look, evidently McLeish got paid again. Well done, that man." Hello. He'll be getting it. I can probably guess there's a little Amazon order for some delightful crisps going through or something.
All right, go on then with your colours.
Okie dokie. Right. I was thinking of a blue, but I don't know what blues you've got. I'm thinking of a light blue. So I'm thinking of something like I haven't got any. I don't have a bugger. Something like perhaps, if you have it, if I can get it out, Russ Grey. If you have Russ Grey.
Oh, I think I do have Russ Grey.
Ooh. Or what's this one?
Yeah, Russ Grey.
Or Fenrisian Grey, if you have Fenrisian Grey.
Got that as well.
Ooh, let's go for Fenrisian Grey. It's a little bit lighter.
Because they was on the original paint list.
Was it?
Yeah.
Don't know why I was going to do Fenrisian Grey. Space Wolves colours, that. Happy birthday for tomorrow. Getting anything nice, says Matthew Ward. I'm getting to take Mama Fox to hospital for an appointment. Mama Wolf even. That's it. I know my friends bought me a box full of noodle packets, but I don't know what they are yet. So.
Beef and tomato.
Yeah, no, and proper Korean noodles, Japanese noodles. Not British student noodles, sadly. Now, with Fenrisian Grey, I got that one open. Same again, but what I might do on this one, spatter it around here and there, but I might paint one or two track links, just not solidly, but give them a good coverage so they look...
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Just like that. Because these will stand out a little bit from the neutral greys.
Right, yeah.
They probably won't stand out that much, but just having one or two in there, just it's a little bit different.
Yeah, you see it on Bane Blades quite a lot, don't you? Where they have like the odd interspersed lighter colour track.
Yeah, like it might be a new piece that's been added because the track broke, or it might be an older piece. So we'll do one or two of them, and I think that's probably not quite blue enough, so we might go for a couple of other colour. We'll play with it and see how it comes out, because we're doing a filter over the top with the enamels and the rusty colours. You never know, it might be quite interesting. Like paint one bright yellow or something. Green.
Pea green.
Peas.
I like peas.
That was a bit Terminator. I like peas.
Oh, could you imagine the Terminator voice? I like
Get to the peas.
Yeah.
Get to the freezer.
I want to do peas in your motorcycle.
I need some frozen peas in the 40-watt range. Now. Okay, so we'll do a few of them. And I think, me standing up again, god damn it. What was that? Fenrisian Grey?
Fenrisian Grey, that was.
Let's do. Do you have any? We could get experimental here. Do you have any, knocking the camera, Thunderhawk Blue?
Oh, I don't think so.
If not, don't worry.
No, I have Caldor Blue.
Do you have any?
Loffen Blue. Alt Turquoise. Rust Greys.
Oh, Rust Grey. Go on, we'll do a Rust Grey. Oh no, have you got any Fang? The Fang.
Fang, yeah, I've got Fang.
Let's try the Fang because it's a purpley blue and it's quite dark. Just for fun, we'll experiment and see what happens. Because, you know, what's the worst that happens?
Yeah, I've got a bit of Fang. I'll just bung that over there.
The Fang. And again, there's no right or wrong with this. As far as I've been able to deduce, there's no right or wrong, because if you make your tracks too light or too dark, it just means that when all the rust colours come out, it looks like a lighter rust or a darker rust. So whether you paint all your tracks and they come out like, you know, bone white, it's like, well, that's fine. You'll just have very light coloured tracks. There's nothing wrong with that. And we're going to put like dirt and dust on these anyway. So it's just really, there's no right and wrong. Brand new tracks are, of course, out the factory are like silver. In fact, they're probably not. They're probably already slightly rusted anyway out the factory. But
probably go rusty as soon as they're off the conveyor belt, don't they?
Yeah, it doesn't take more than a few days for tracks to go, even just that kind of tarnished dark grey colour, and then they get the ever so slight rustiness to them. So it doesn't really matter, you know, whether you paint them too light or too dark. I'm still trying to figure out the right balance, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, but it's one of them, isn't it? If it's keeping it randomised, it works, doesn't it?
Yeah. So we'll just go in and get some of this splonged around.
Stefan Last is in, saying good evening, gents and ladies. How you doing?
I'm thinking today what might be a good idea is if we actually do the enamels bit, because then it does mean we're sitting around waiting, but we're going to have to do that anyway.
Yeah. What enamels was that? That was the track wash thing, wasn't it?
We got some track rust, didn't we? Yeah.
But
I'm thinking, if we do it today, it shows the process from start to finish.
Yeah.
You can hair dry them, and we're going to have to sit around waiting for it to dry at some point. So we might as well do it today.
Yeah, might as well.
There's no point showing half the track process. I would normally leave this till later, but we won't do any of the dirty earths on it. Or any dirty earth, filthy, dirty little earth. How you doing with yours, Spud?
All right, mate. It's getting there.
You're getting there. You're made of there.
Absolutely.
What I will do is I will have to touch up some of my little red patches where I've got blue. But then again, I've got some of the dark blue rust grey on some of the paint chips, the rusty paint chips, and it just looks like rust. So
yeah.
I think once we get the, I've got a few bits where I've splattered paint on the trim but once we get the weathering on there, you won't see that.
No.
Yay! So there we go. I think I'll keep my tracks like that. I think I'm happy with them as they are. You carry on till you're happy and satisfied.
Yeah, I said to you I would lag a little bit behind today.
That's all right. I'm not rushing you. You take all the time you want. I can interact with the people in chat and stuff like that. Stefan Lassen, he says, good evening, Gladys and Gentle Bobs. A bit late to the party, but as we say here in Sweden, posh people arrive late.
I read that one out.
Did you?
Yeah.
Was I not paying attention? Was I doing a painting thing?
You was, yeah.
Did I have a TED moment?
You did. You did.
Stefan Laster, he says, good evening, Gladys and gentlemen.
I see what you did there.
As we say in Sweden, hurdy spurdy hurdy 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 hurdy. Hurdy spurdy hurdy hoop hoop.
Yeah. Chef out the Muppets. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Muppet. What I'm going to do, I'm going to be experimentable.
Yeah.
And I might paint one link, just a random colour, just to see how it works.
Oh, you're radical, you are.
Or maybe I won't. I'll paint one track Lothern blue, which is like
yeah, that's bright, that is.
That's like 1980s.
Yeah. I've actually got a bottle of that for my Harlequin.
Oh, Harlequin! You'll need a lot of paints for your Harlequin.
Oh, I don't know. I know it.
To me, that colour is just, I don't know why, it's just 1980s.
Yeah.
I think I had a few toys that were like that colour plastic.
Yeah.
Like if I paint this on here now, you're gonna laugh at that. Look at that. Look at that track there.
Yeah, that's brighter than a bright thing, isn't it?
But I'm experimenting, so we'll see how this comes out.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's do this now. Get to paint on the tracks and see what happens. That sounds more like cat face than Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I'll worry about you, you know.
Cat face, he's got a big cat face. Body on his.
Down there for now.
So I'll do a couple of them, just one or two. I'm interested to see how that.
You're
comes
living
out.
dangerously. Is this? Do you want me to dig out my blue? Do you?
You can do whatever colours you want. If you want to do some Lothern blue, you can.
I've got a bottle of it. If you're prepared to take the risk, the least I can do is follow my teacher.
If you want to run with the wolves, which is strangely appropriate, you can do. Or you could pick a different random colour for yourself for a specific track and see what comes out.
Okay.
Feel free.
Yeah, no worries.
I was thinking about a yellow, but that might just make it look too mustardy, I think, possibly. Stefan Lass says, "Oh, I didn't know you were fluent in Swedish. Is there no limit to your talents?" I can say all the Swedish words like Billy, Detolf.
I'll just say this: I can destroy any language of your choosing.
Yeah, given that Festa can't even speak English, don't expect him to speak other languages.
Absolutely.
Hey, Jess. Darren Edmonds very kindly has put a super chat through for $5.
Oh, you're going to be as happy as Oggin Slop now that you're getting some super chats. You'll be able to leave me alone now.
I know, Darren. Thank you very, very much. That's very kind of you. Big hugs to you.
Oh, I've got Calidor Sky.
Ooh, that's a bold blue colour, that one, isn't it? Oh, yeah.
That sticks
Oh,
out like a blind cobbler's thumb, that does, mate.
Some of that on your bits. I just thought it'd be interesting if you wanted to pick some random colours, because then you can see for yourself how the effect works. I'm going to very quickly hairdry this, so I'll do 2 seconds.
Yeah, you carry on, mate. You carry on, mate. Here you go. You've made his day, Darren, today, mate. Bless him. How's your love, the Goombay Dance Band, coming along, by the way? Yeah, a bit of that on there. Oh, that is a bright blue. Yeah, I know someone now will see that and you'll go, do you know something? I want some of that blue now on mine. I like it that much. I'm actually going to do more than a couple of them. It talking to me, it is. It's talking to me. There you go. Couple there, couple there.
Hey, go on back now.
Yeah, I'll have one there and all. There you go.
Yeah, it's my track rust.
There you go. Cool, that is a nice bright blue. Look at that. It sticks out like blind cobbler's thumb, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. All the fun of the fair. All the fun of the fair. I should have more track wash. I clearly do not have more track wash. I thought I had more than that. German dark yellow. I thought I had 2 bottles of it. Never mind. I can have 1 bottle of it. That's absolutely fine.
In the enamel track wash, is that the AK-83?
That's the fella.
Yeah, that's the one.
I had 2 pots of it.
Was there any other washes that we need whilst I'm looking at my washes rack?
Not today. I've got some dust and Kursk soil ones. I don't know if you got those.
Yeah, I've got dust and Kursk soil.
Because I've never tried using an enamel wash to make dust effects, and I quite fancy trying that.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah, I've got all different track rusts. I've got Kursk soil, Russian earth. So, yeah.
Do you have enamel thinners or oil paint thinners? I think you do, don't you?
What, Artist White Spirit?
Yeah, or enamel thinners, or whichever you've got. If you've got enamel thinners, that's better. But if you've got oil paint thinners, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't know whether I've got enamel thinners. I'd have to have a look. 2 secs.
Don't worry if not.
No, it's all right. It's just I'm sat down. I can't reach over the back at the moment.
All right.
So just give us a second to stand up and reach over.
Count it as your standing up break if you want.
Yeah, it's just I know if I overextend, I'm going to fall off my chair.
No. I don't want you jumping around all over the place. Because a lot of people have never seen tracks done this way and never thought about doing it this way. And I've never thought about it or even thought about how this would work. And there's no guarantee this will work, but it's a very interesting and non-intuitive way to do tracks.
Yeah.
I
guess I'm sure I've got some enamel.
I noticed the other day, by the way, one of our Warhammer Sunday shows from a few weeks ago is like not monetized.
Oh, really?
And I appealed it and said, "Can you review it?" And they came back and said, "We reviewed it. You're not getting monetization." I'm like, "What did we do in that show? I don't even know."
Really?
I'm not going to sit and watch it. I think it's either limited ads or I think it might be limited ad revenue.
Oh.
I don't know what we did in that show. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it just to see.
Yeah, that's Umbral Clear Fix. That's liquid poly. No, that's Mr. Colour Leveling Thinner. Oh, I had a bottle of enamel thinners. Oh, acrylic.
Don't worry if not.
Yeah.
Oil paint thinners are just as good.
All right. Yeah, that's all I can locate at the moment.
That's fine. The only difference between the two is enamel paint thinners sometimes give you a smoother finish, but when we're going to be covering this up in dirt and dust, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Let's move that out of the way a minute.
We'll let you get your painting stuff done first. Big bottle of juice. That always looks so delicious, that juice.
Oh, it is, mate. It's pretty much got everything in it that it should have in it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's proper healthy system.
Yeah.
Juice, isn't it?
Yeah, you wouldn't think it looking at the state of the scuzzy bottle it's in, but...
He had before we went live, he had his big bottle of juice just in front of the camera and he went on his bench. And I says to him, I hope that all that crap on the top of the bottle's on the outside because it looked like it'd been pebble dashed with bitumen.
No, it's because I was airbrushing.
So
and I was spraying me to me a smoke, wasn't I, Friday?
Yeah.
And yeah, got on the outside of the bottle, so
it kind of looked like it was on the inside. I was like, oh no.
Yeah. So of course I got lectured by he who lectures me.
No, I was curious. I was like, it's not on the inside, is it?
No, it's not on the inside. I'd be dead if it was on the inside, mate.
Yeah. How's the painting coming on? You having fun?
Yeah. I'm just waiting on you, mate. I'm just, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were still going. Okay.
No. I was just sitting myself back down and getting me seating sorted out.
Ooh.
I'm shaking me fingers. Me paint. What's his name at the moment?
Okay. Have you got your hairdryer to hand? You give you track.
Yeah.
Just to flash them off.
Yeah, I will.
While you're doing that. Archer1182 is in. Hello from the Midwest USA, Wyoming. Hello,
oh, nice. Hello, geez. Hope you're doing all right.
Jeff says Dallas area here. Where are you from? It's all age, sex, location now in the chat. It's gone to AOL chat period.
Oh, wow.
We haven't asked the question. Have we asked the question?
No, we haven't. Yeah, I know. What is in the belly? What is on the bench? What is your beverage of choice? I'm just going to mute whilst I dry me tracks.
The reason I asked that is that Paul Lewis actually said belly chicken casserole with crusty bread dip. To dip, bench, Hello 124th, BMW 328 Endurance 1939. Beverage, Coca-Cola. Darren Edmonds says, can't you be nice to me just 1 week, Festa? Bless. Where are we up to? I think that's up to date with chat now. So yeah, bench and belly, folks. What are you working on? What are you eating? And what is your beverage of choice? Let's have a look and see. Make sure I'm not missing anything in chat. If we do miss any of your chat, by the way, we've both got chat in front of us, but we're wearing our magnifying lenses and stuff. So our iPads and tablets and things, they look very blurry from this distance.
We are blokes of a certain age. Look at my probes.
Hang on, I can move the microphone. I keep forgetting. Probes. Are you just drying your tank with your lady pleaser?
Yeah, it's my hairdryer, dear.
Boop. Hole in the end so you don't choke on it.
Yeah.
I'm so bad.
Very nearly got my finger stuck then.
Did you know that's why the heads on Lego minifigures have a hole at the top and the bottom?
Oh yeah, stop kids choking on them.
Yeah.
Same as biro lids.
Yeah, the only problem is if it goes sideways, they die.
It goes sideways, they sound like a kazoo, mate.
Yeah. Let that be a lesson, kids. Don't swallow Lego heads sideways.
Yeah.
They'll die.
My boy did the do you remember the pencil where you had like Lego bricks as the pencil nibs? And he managed to put a tube of those up his nostril. Of course, as we pulled it out, 3 of them stayed up there. He had proper rammed them up there, mate. Oh. He was that child that had the saucepan on his head, the peanut in his ear, that sort of thing.
Stuck between the bars of the fence.
He did it on the stairgate. The banisters, got his head between the bottom banister and the floor at this place.
Good lad.
Yeah.
Before we do any painting, I'm going to get my balls out.
Oh, get your balls out. Boom, boom, boom.
I don't think I put any stirring balls in this pot of stuff, so a couple of glass stirring balls.
Yeah.
I do recommend with these AK or ammo enamel washes like streaking grams and things like that. 2 things I'd recommend. First of all, once you've opened it, don't ever lie it down.
No.
Sadly, they both suffer from the same crap bottle design, which is
pretty much
it's not leak proof at all. If you lie that down, it'll just leak everywhere. So don't ever lie these down. I don't know why the AK and ammo just use the same bottle, and it's terrible.
It's pretty much the wad in the top is about as much use as handbrake on a canoe, folks.
Yeah, when you're shaking it, I would actually err on the side of caution. First, the other thing, they do tend to separate out really quickly. So a couple of like stirring ball, little glass balls or something like that, just to agitate the sediment, because the sediment can clump at the bottom and get really sticky and it doesn't move around much. So get something in there to stir it. And also, when you do shake them, I strongly recommend you do it in a piece of tissue.
Yeah,
for the same reason.
You're a sticky clump.
Well, no, I don't deny this. For the same reason about the leaking. The number of times you do this and you end up with a hand covered in enamel paint.
And we speak from experience, folks, because we've all done it.
I speak from being an idiot.
Yeah. I didn't like to say.
The reason I call them stirring balls is because at one point Ammo had a thing on the package of their paint saying contains stirring balls. I'm like, as in emotionally stirring or physically stirring? I can't show Paul Lewis's comment.
Yeah.
It's not working. Let me refresh the chat. Oh look, chat's fallen over.
Balls of stirring. 2 secs. Hold up. Let's show it. It's all right. It's just I was trying to go through me drawer.
No, it's all right. I'm just
Yeah, it's in there now.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, my chat fell over. Let's have a look. Where are we? Edward Leonard's in. Hang on. Made my tank fall over. And you also get a free shrimp.
Oh, there you go.
Idiots of the Sea. Lynn Dipple says belly maple glazed turkey. Oh, maple glazed. Let's just say those words again. Maple glazed turkey.
Sounds cool.
I'm having a culinary trouser tent there. Chipotle Gouda on honey wheat bread, tortilla chips with salsa, beverage, H2O, bench, nothing at the moment.
Only you can have a culinary trouser tent.
Because it's food. And if you don't eat food, you die. I always get turned on by things that stop me dying. You know, don't even start me on seatbelts. Matthew Ward says belly chicken jalfrezi, bench landy beverage. No, start that again. Punctuation, people. Matthew Ward, belly chicken jalfrezi, bench landy, Land Rover, and beverage iron brew. Oh, iron brew. Oh,
I remember the days of drinking iron brew.
Made in Scotland from Garders. Festa, you need to paint some eyes on that hairdryer, says Darren.
Needs to what?
You need to paint some eyes on that hairdryer.
Yeah, it's wrong in all manner of ways, isn't it?
Get a couple of googly eyes just above the hole.
Look into my hole.
Oh God, I can't believe you just said that. Made me mobbing with camera and everything. Joseph Kelly says belly cornbread and coffee, bench AMT Myers Manx Dune buggy. Ooh.
Do you want me to do this right under the microphone for you?
Go on.
There you
go. Joel Grit says, welcome, Joel. He says, belly loaded cheese pizza and chicken wings, bench nothing. Beverage of choice is always a nice cup of Rosie Lee. And Paul Lewis says, balls of stirring. Yes. So,
there you go.
This will be one of the least action-packed streams ever, this one. Because we've reached a critical limit of known physics, which is that I can't stop stirring this damn thing. The one thing you'll learn with these enamel washes is you have to keep shaking them every 5 minutes.
We are useless as to we.
Yeah, now we have reached the limits of known physics because once we put this on, that's it. We're knackered then for like several hours.
Till they dry.
You can hairdryer it a bit. You can hairdryer it so it's touch dry. But before you put anything else on it, it's still going to be not quite fully cured. So it'll be a bit easy to wipe off. And so once we do this, it's going to be a festival chat episode.
At the end of the day, it's 20 to 7. So, you know, we're not doing too bad because we are a bit later today. So.
But we are able to sit and talk to the chat for hours on end with that.
Absolutely. You do realise, though, we won't have any excuse for not reading out comments. I just thought I would.
No, this is true.
I just thought I'd let you know that one, mate.
Well, you're exactly right. And we are going to have to make a deal with the people in chat. When we've done this, we're just dealing with you guys in chat then. So we're going to expect you to up your content level in chat because if you do one comment every 20 minutes, it's going to be a really long podcast with not much going on. Right. So here we go. What we need is
Bosh.
some sort of mixing device.
Ka-ching.
We need some sort of, that's got water in it. Let me get a fresh one. Some sort of sucky tube device. Or you can drip
Ka-ching.
things out with this. Good girl. We need the wash, which is AK Interactive's track wash.
Ka-ching.
A thinner of some sort. I've got AK Interactive's odorless thinner for enamel products. Yep, you've got artist thinners. That's absolutely fine. And what you want to use with this is an old brush.
An old brush.
Yeah,
Scuzzy, flat, around.
Just a normal brush shaped brush. You don't have to like an old small shade brush or something like that. It doesn't have to be big.
Yeah.
Normal like pointed brush.
One of them.
Yeah, that'll do. Now it's important to use an old brush with enamels in the same way it is with pigments. They're not going to do any real harm to your brushes, but they're a bit more aggressive than acrylics. So if you use your beautiful, nice new broken toad or your triple or your series 7 or your whatever it is, your expensive brushes, your artist opus and stuff, yeah, they're a bit harsh. You have to clean them in thinners and you can't clean them in. So just use an old brush for this kind of stuff. You don't need a nice brush. So here's what we're going to do. And this is all complete experimentation. Whenever I've done this before, I've done this using the track wash neat, and it's basically all come out brown. So I'm going to try thinning the track wash this time.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
You're joining on my voyage of the damned here, Festa.
That's right. I won't do anything till I've seen you. I've seen you make yours.
You need to know exactly how to ruin it correctly before I go in. So yeah,
this is the point where I go, I like peas.
I like peas. So I'm going to get, and there's no formula for this.
Oh, that's all right.
Get some of the track wash. Apart from do it on camera. Get some of the track wash. I'm going to use specifically that much.
Yeah.
Scientific numbers there, you see.
So
I'll put some tissue down because this is going to get messy.
Use my nice clean one because I can then.
I need to get a clean one for the thinner, don't I? Hang on. Save the tubes. Hang on. I've got things in the way. Hang on. Oh no! Get out of my tubes.
Are we making a complete wash up with this? Are we then, or?
Yeah,
because I'll put it in one of my super sealy liddy ones, and I've then got it pre-mixed.
Yeah, I'm going to make a wash. I'm just going to find another sucky tube. Hang on, I've got to move my entire rubbish bag out of the way. I'm not sure how thin to make it, but right, there they are. God damn it! Why is it the thing you need is always like under 15 other things? Fascists.
Because that's the law of things, mate.
Goddamn cheap Chinese dropper bottle tubes. God.
Lamekins.
Right, there we are. So, and if you haven't got drippy droppy things, don't worry. A handy trick for pouring liquids out of bottles is get yourself a cocktail stick or a stirring thing and just pour it down the stick.
Yeah, pour it along the stick. Acts as a wicker.
But if you do have drippy droppy things, then use them. So let's put some in. And we'll probably go a bit thin. So I'm going to use two squishies full of it. Because if it's too thin and it's really transparent, that's fine. We can just do a second layer.
Yeah.
Which is why we can hairdryer it just to temporarily flash it off. So make sure you put the lid back on your wash because it will flash off really. It really does settle out really fast.
Yeah. It's
yeah. It's the one downside. If you sit using it from the pot when you're doing a wash and stuff, if you watch people, if they don't constantly close the pot and shake it, you'll end up with just mostly thinners and not actual paint. So you have to keep them shaking them. So let's see how if you get the brush and try it on the side of the tin or whatever you're mixing in, you'll get a sense of how
thin it is. Yes, I know.
Yeah, how transparent. And all I'm going to do, let me know when you're ready. I nearly need to get a mixing thing. I nearly put my brush in my water palette.
No.
Nearly. I'm going to get a little separate thing for thinners so I can clean the brush off later.
Yeah, I have two separate ones. I have my grey one for acrylic, my black one for anything that's enamel, lacquers, or...
Do you know what I am actually tempted to get?
What?
I saw this thing the other day, and it's I think it's AK Interactive, or is it Green Stuff World? It's a brush cleaning machine thing, where it's a box with a bottle on one end upside down and a little reservoir for the water, and you wash your brush and then you press a button and the water gets sucked down and it replaces it with clean water.
Dude, I put my brushes in my ultrasonic, mate.
Ooh. Well, the reason I was thinking of that is not to clean my brushes normally, but on live streams. Yeah. When I've just painted a load of metallics and I have to go off and into the bathroom and empty my water out and redo it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking this way I can stay at the bench when I'm doing live stream and just like rinse my brush off, flush the water through.
That's why I have various different pots with water in. To save me having to do that. But yeah, my brushes go in my ultrasonic cleaner.
Yeah, I thought that.
Absolute godsend for that.
Right. Have you mixed?
Yeah, I am just putting a label on there so that I know what's in my pot, mate. You carry on.
Good, you're making it. No, yeah, I'll let you until you're ready.
But you know what I'm like, I will forget what I've actually got in there. So
you'll be like, is that coffee? It's not coffee. Not coffee.
Because when you have several hundred of these little pots and you make up different washes, yeah, it's always...
Is that the little food grade pots with lids?
Yeah.
They're brilliant, them, aren't they, for little paint pots?
Oh, absolutely. And then I just put a bit of Tamiya tape on the top.
Yeah.
And then I get one of them for me. I get my sander. Quickly go around the edges, and I end up with a nice, neat label that I can label it up with.
Now, just to give people an idea, there's my little pot of thinner with some of that stuff in, so you get to see the kind of colour you're looking at.
Yeah.
It's very diluted, but it's that kind of dirty, rusty, dark brown.
Yeah.
That we're going to be looking for. Shake, shaky.
Happy days. Let's label that up.
Nice circle of tape. I like that. Coffee. My chat has died again. I've not. All right, let me just close Chrome down and start now. It doesn't. I don't know why it does this. It's weird.
Yeah.
Just last few months, it started just kind of dying on me.
Yeah, nice little label now. Trap wash, AK83.
Lovely. We'll go through the chat in a minute. We'll do this first stage first.
Let's just make sure my lids are on.
Apologies, I've missed the chat. My chat just sometimes just stops.
Yeah, no, that's all right, mate.
I'm on the iPad.
Muse says, my Opus brushes never touch the stuff I abuse to no end. Absolutely. My toads don't. My toads are only ever used for,
for delicate goodness.
Exactly. But any metallics or anything like that, they're on their own pile of brushes. Right,
shall we dive in?
Yeah, you carry on, mate.
Right, what I'm going to do is dead simple. I'm not going to wash it on. This is where it gets weird. I'm going to not overload the brush, and I'm going to dot it on.
Oh, you're going for a bit of a dot pooling effect, are you, dear?
Just to start with. In fact, no, it's actually a bit too thin for that, I think. It's a bit too dilute for that. Oh, well, then again, I'm going to be generous with it, because you have to remember a lot of this is actually going to be thinner. So a lot of that will evaporate away. So I'm going to be quite generous with it. I'm going to dot it on. I think the tracks aren't really big enough to have much of a complicated effect. It might be a bit too thin to be worrying about dotting it on. So you could just actually brush it on, I think. And what this will do as a first little layer, because you can still see the greys and the blues and stuff. It's quite obvious. But this will do as a first sort of base layer. It's always better to go in more dilute than you need and then add more layers than go in straight with the neat stuff and realize it now just looks brown because it's too opaque.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll get this on the tracks. You can be quite generous with it. This will, because this is basically a wash, it will just collect around the recesses. It's more like a recess wash. Some of it will stick around on the surface. This is all learning to me. Now you can do this with oil paints. You can use, there's lots of the Ammo by Meg, the MIG Abteilung 502 paints that do the same thing.
Oh, right, yeah.
They have rusty colours like light rust and dark rust, funnily enough. You could also do it with them if you wanted to. But the reason I like this track wash is you can actually apply it neat and it just looks kind of like rusty tracks the way it settles.
So I'm right in thinking this is a bit like the known oil process where you're building it up in multiple thin layers and it will gradually darken as it goes along. Is that what you're going for?
Kind of. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's like a glaze basically.
Yeah,
but you're being slappity with it.
Yeah,
you're not being delicate with it. So what I can do now is I can leave that for a second. What I might do, I might give it a quick zap with the hairdryer.
Yeah, you carry on, mate.
Yeah, because people don't realise You can actually hairdry oils and
Yeah.
enamels like this as washes. They only take a few minutes.
Lynn's saying to Muse that the Opus brushes look great. Yeah, they're a nice brush. They really are. It's... Yeah, I got a set of the Broken Toads. I don't have Opus, but yeah. I've heard they're good. They're all pretty much a similar thing, aren't they? So... But we was chatting to Cy Reynolds, he of the Golden Demon Award winners, and he was like, yeah, I use these toads, that's what I use, they enable me to do this and this, and it's like, well, anyone's going to know it's going to be him. He's won Golden Demons at the end of the day, so I went and got myself some Broken Toads. But again, it's one of them, you own a set of brushes that are premium grade, should you say. Yeah, you don't want to be using them with all your metallics and that, because they break glass in case of emergency, and yeah. But it's whatever your choice is. Artist Opus, Broken Toads, Winsor & Newton Series 7, there's multiple choices out there. More than one way to skin a cat, so to speak. Go. Bit of that under there, slap that under there. It's been going through the dirt and detritus. Lynn Dipple says, I've got army painter brushes for now. Yeah, I've got a set of army painters just in there, Lynn, in top of the wet palette. Yeah, I've got the range of army paintings in there. Then, like I say, I've got my Broken Toad miniature series, Mark III's. I've got a few of them. I've got some Citadel artificers or whatever they're called. Yeah.
Now, thank you for treading water there for a moment.
That's all right.
So that's dry. It's dry to the touch.
Yeah.
And what I've learned is that wash is far too thin.
Right. Okay.
Well, it's not far too thin. Basically, if I wanted the color underneath to be visible, like if you look at these, that would now look like something that was painted light gray or gray that's gone a bit rusty and bleak. And like it's kind of some discoloration. It's just rusty.
Yeah.
You can see underneath there where we just left it as the gray.
Yeah.
It's got this nice early sort of dirt rust corrosion effect.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. But for what we want, which is to hide these colors a bit more.
Yeah, it needs a bit more wash in there.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to somehow empty that out, sacrifice all that. But this is why it's fun. You see, it's experimentation. Yeah. If I wanted something to look like it was grey but a little bit rusty, then that would be great because it would be grey or whatever colour underneath. If say it was a blue car and I wanted it to have that kind of, the rain's been pouring down, it's leached rust onto it's kind of discoloured the whole thing, rust in a rusty way.
Yeah,
that'd be perfect. But that's not what we're after. So what I'm going to do, shake my balls around a bit.
Oh, steady, Neris.
Yeah. But yeah, you can hairdryer enamels and oils a little bit just to flash them off.
Yeah.
But you still have to leave it overnight before you do anything else on top. If you do more enamels on top afterwards. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to try. I'm going to get some into the tin. Now that's neat. That's a horrible noise, that. Let me put it near the microphone.
Yeah, that's squishy, isn't it? Sounds so very, very, very wrong.
I like Fox. He brings me all the best, most interesting noises. And what I shall do, I'll put a little bit of thin, not much. Because I think straight from the pot, it might be a bit too opaque. So I'll put a few drops. Like 6 or 7 drops. Let's just see what that does. It's still transparent from the bottle, but I want it a little bit less opaque. So what we'll do, this is more like a sludge wash now. We shall get that on there. And we'll start by just getting this on. Now, because I've already done that thin coat, if you've got that paint mix, Festa, there, you can always do the thin coat first.
Yeah.
May as well do that thin coat anyway, because it just means then you'll have some light patches and some darker patches. That's fine. This is kind of more what I was looking for, I think. And I'm keeping in the back of my mind the weathering that's going to come later on. So I'm going to have like enamels for dust washes and things that will go into some of the recesses. So it may not fully look like rusty metal now, but as long as it looks close enough that when all the other weathering goes on top, you've got this basis of rusty looking metal. I don't want it to look like it's like bright orange rust that powders off when you touch it, but I need it to look discolored with rust.
I'm with you.
Yeah, it's rusty tone rather than actually corroded to hell. And we are going to, of course, do metallic dry brushing and stuff over these anyway. So I'm just going to stipple this on. I won't really bother with underneath because it doesn't really matter so much. You can use, the good thing is with tanks like this, if it's a display model, you can use the tracks at the bottom as like test zones.
Yeah.
If it's going to sit in a display case for the rest of its life. Nobody will ever see them, will they? No, not see them with the eye.
I haven't even figured out what I'm going to display it on yet. I'll probably do a tiny little base for it.
Base.
See what you did there.
See what I did there. Now, the thing is, of course, that wash that I made that was too light, that's not a problem because that can then be used later on to go into all the little crooks and nannies around the rest of the tank.
Yeah.
Get a little hint of rust where like rust has collected around an edge, but it's not quite started corroding the paint yet. It's just a discoloration. So there we go. So we'll give that a go. I shall block the hairdryer on that when you finish yours.
No, you carry on. You do what you're doing, mate. You block your hairdryer on, you do it. I've literally only just started mine.
I'll hang out with the chat and then I'll wait because otherwise you'll be painting and I'll be hairdrying and we'll leave the chat alone. So I'll wait till you're done. So it's a different way of doing it. So it's starting now to look a little bit like it kind of looks more like wood at the moment, but that's part of the beauty of this process. It changes as you go along. When you hair dryer these or leave them to dry this off, they change in their tone. The color changes slightly. They go darker or lighter depending on the specific paint and the specific color. So we need to invent a silent hairdryer. That'd be brilliant.
Yeah, but you've got a mute button on your microphone. You do what you got to do, mate. I can read the chat and paint this because it's right in front of me.
Alrighty, well I shall do it. I should do that then.
You do that because it's not a problem, mate. Lynn says I'll stick with the brushes I have. I'm not looking into buying anything now. Same here. Like I say, I've got my selection of brushes. I'm pretty much waiting, and my money's going on ordering the mugs of the t-shirts for me patrons. So that's what my spends is going on. Get them all sent out. So I'm looking at doing that beginning of the new year, because hopefully by then the postal disputes and things will be sorted out, and I'll space the US stuff out as well and get that all sent out. So could you all, if you're patrons of mine, check your addresses to make sure that they're accurate, and I can get them all shipped out. So I'm going to do it in dribs and drabs, but don't tell me off if you haven't immediately received it straight after Christmas, because I need to get a decent rate for the international stuff and get that all sent over. And we have our ongoing UK postal disputes at the moment, so everything is up in the air. So I'm trying to wheedle everything around it. I thought I had a little supply here of mugs, but I'm out now, so I've got to get a new batch printed out. So as soon as they're done, I'll let you all know, and we can get the ball rolling. So slap plenty of that on.
Slap it on. Okay, so that's that.
Some of that in there.
How are you getting on, Spud?
All right, mate. All right.
Okay, so I've just dried that off very quickly to the touch.
Yeah, I'm going to mute for a minute then.
Yep, you go and do yours. So that's starting to look a bit more like it now. We've still got some of the blue showing through and looking a bit like blue, which is weird. So we need to correct that. So we'll do that in a minute. But you can start to see, hopefully, it's starting. On camera, it kind of looks like wood. It looks like a oak, made of oak or something. But you have to keep in your mind what's to come and how that will affect it. So I know, first of all, there'll be like dust washes that we're going to try out to make it look dusty and dirty. But I also know there'll be like metallic dry brushing later on. Because right now it looks like brown. But it's when you add the metallic aspect to it that makes it look like metal. And when you see metal and it's brown, you think, oh, it's rusty. So part of it later will be, not today, but towards the end of the thing, will be like getting the metallic highlights. But we need it to dry properly before we do that. So I'll let Colin do his hair drying. Where are we up to on chat? I don't know what Colin read. Where are we up to?
Yeah.
Oh, we done?
Yeah. I got as far as Lynn sticking with her brushes.
Oh, lovely. Did you hear anything of what I was saying? I never hear you when I'm hair drying, so.
No, I didn't hear naff all, mate, because I had the hair dryer going.
Well, what was basically saying was it looks like a bit like wood at the moment. It looks like a nice teak set of tracks.
Yeah.
But we've got a little bit left to do. But basically, the idea to keep in mind is you have to think forward to the end when we'll add things like the metallic twinges to it.
Yeah.
Because when you see something metallic that's brown, you think, oh, it's rust.
Yeah.
When it's just brown, it could be anything. But when it's got metallic on it, you're like, oh, it's rust because it's metal. Right, I get it.
Yeah.
So it may not look quite like it yet.
Yeah.
But we're getting there. So what I'm going to do now is one last thing.
Yeah.
And that is just in a few places where it's a little bit light grey, or you can still see there's blue underneath there. That's a bit weird. So what I might do now is just do a few of them and just give them a straight up neat bit of track wash.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah.
They'll probably come out looking the same as the dark patches, but you can, hopefully you can see all the different colours you're getting.
Yes.
So like if you want to do dark tracks where we did the darker grey colour and it was a lot of black and a lot of dark grey, that looks like real dark corroded metal.
Yeah.
But the lighter ones look like younger rust. So the only thing that's really spoiling it is the little bits of grey and blue that's showing through. So we can just correct that with the straight up neat wash. And if we decided to paint these bits in the middle of the tracks as rubber blocks, that would, of course, then add more depth to it.
Yeah, it's going to not. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would also give you more the rusty thing. But if you look, you can't see it on camera, but when you look at it close, you'll see it, Colin. It's kind of grainy. It's patchy. It's got a little grain to it.
Yeah. So
it doesn't always look like rust straight away, but it's tempting to go even further because you can make them as rusty as you want, as dark as you want. But you've got to keep in mind what's to come. And we're going to have dust, and we're going to have metal twinges and
all kinds of gubbins.
Yeah, silver bits and graphite at the very end if we want it and stuff like that. So I'm going to get some neat track wash now.
Yeah, I am listening, mate, even though I may not seem that I am.
No, I know you're doing stuff. So I'm going to get some neat track wash and I'm going to put it on some of the tracks. And some of the ones that are just blue, because that will really darken them down. And you can do multiple coats of this until you're happy with it. If you don't want it to look like the colour that's under there, then just blap a bit of extra track wash on it. There's a few bits here where it's still showing through as grey, so I'll just blap some on randomly.
That's all coming up all right, mate.
Yeah. How's it looking to you on yours then, buddy?
All right, mate. Yeah. What's that? Someone saying there, he didn't see it in Muses either. He's falling down on his job. What haven't we seen, Lynn? If you need our attention, do an @model making guru or an @Festa 67, and it puts our name in a box.
We can't miss it because
we can't miss it. I don't know whether that's aimed at us for missing a comment out or not.
I don't know. Where are we? So there's a couple there that I've put some extra on. They still look a bit. One of them still looks a little bit blue. So what I might do is hair dry it and then do another coat.
Yeah.
Because the more coats you do, because these colours are transparent, the more layers you do, the darker and less transparent.
Exactly.
So like that one there is really dark in the middle, but it's a bit lighter at the top because it all pooled around that rubber bit in the middle. So you can just, if you want really dark tracks, you can just go straight in with the track wash right from the start. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
But this is the story your weathering can tell, you see.
Yeah.
This is why it's better to go in a little light to start with and then add more as you go along. So I'll just get that rinsed off. Rinsing, rawhide. La, 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 la. Muse says, my Opus brushes never touch the stuff. I abuse no end.
Absolutely.
McLeish has come back with KFC and retrieved the following: trilogy box meal, Zinger Tower burger, popcorn, chicken fries, beans, chicken strips, and a large tango.
Oh, nice one.
Alex Rivera says, do you guys like Kenneth Branagh? I don't. I have no interest in celebrities and actors.
Yeah, it's all right. Why is that? What's he done?
Don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just going to hair dry it very quickly.
Yeah, no worries. You do what you're doing, mate. Lynn says, model making guru, you missed Andy and Muse's belly call out. Yeah, we'll get to it, Lynn. We are trying to build as well, darling. We'll stop everything in a minute and we'll go up and read it for you, darling. Bear with us. It's just if I touch my screen at the moment, I've got thinners on my hands and I'm not going to ruin my iPad. So just have to wait until I've cleaned my hands off a little bit. Bit of that in there just to clean that out. I'll clean that out in a moment. So let's wipe my hands.
How back? I've got a few bits to do.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
So now I've done that, I'm going to have another quick look and see if I need to do any more on some of them. And I think
It's going to mute.
Yep, go for it. There's one there that's still showing a little bit of blue, because you wouldn't obviously have blue on a tank trap. So again, we'll just go in. A bit more of this. But again, it is important to, like I say, keep in mind what's to come. Get some from the lid, it might be a bit more opaque. There we go. If you get it from the lid, it's real stodgy and opaque, and that can really just cover things. It's also got a bit of texture to it if you take it straight from the lid. We never suggest taking paint from the lid, apart from now. If you take things straight from the lid, these enamel things are a bit sludgy and kludgy, and then you get some really good effects because you get a little bit of texture then. So we'll just do on there, bit on there. And you'll see later on when we do like our rust weathering and stuff, we'll use maybe oil paints or more enamels and streaking grams, but you can also use things like this track rust. It's just a rust color basically, and that's the whole point. It's just a rust color that you can use for interesting effects. Now I don't want everything to be the same brown, so I'm going to make sure it's got some variation. There's a couple of them I need to darken a little bit, so I'm just going to drag the brush along like that just to get some streaks. But basically, that's about as far as I want to go. I think I'll get some of that off there. And the good thing with it being enamels, if you do go too far or you get some of this paint on a bit that you don't want the paint, it's enamel paint. It's workable for like 5 hours. So that bit there, I got some paint on it. Just wipe it off. If you wanted to get this paint just in the recesses, what you could, if I hadn't hair dried it, what you could do is run your brush across the track like that and wipe some of the paint off. I've hair dried it now though. You can damp a cotton bud in thinners, albeit dirty thinners, and you can take the enamel back off again. That can give you some good effects. So for example, if you had painted these tracks, say a single grey colour, or if you'd actually painted them a metallic silver colour for whatever reason, you could then go and wipe all the streaking grime away and just be left with silver that's been deadened down and dulled by the rusty colours. There's lots you can do with these enamel paints. I would recommend a lot of enamel streaking grimes and washes in your stash of tools, because they are brilliant for things like streaks and effects. Purely because you can put them down, give them 10-20 minutes, and then wipe them away to show clear bits. I used to do my gunk wash with oil paints. I do it with enamels now because it's faster. They cure a lot faster. So, see how I clean that brush off. I'll take a look from a distance and see how we're getting on. So, we're kind of looking like that. Now, keep in mind again, like I said, on camera, first of all, they are shiny. That will go away eventually. Either it will matte down by themselves when they're fully cured, or they'll just matte down when we varnish them. And it does look a little weird right now. It looks like some complex mahogany or teak.
Yeah.
Which is quite nice, actually. But if you're painting like I tell you what, if you're painting like a scale model decking, like on the back of a house,
Yeah.
great colour to use.
Yeah.
But again, we've got the option of painting the rubber bits in the center of the track if we want to. That will break it up a little bit and make it look more real.
Yeah.
But we're going to be doing like metallic. We'll do a dry brush metallic very light at some point, and that'll make it look like it's a metal. And then that'll get matte varnished over. And at the very end, we'll do some graphite perhaps or something.
Yeah. That'll work. Yeah.
Yep. So again, it's like I said, it only looks like wood right now because there's nothing to tell you it's metal. But you can use this technique for things like exhausts and pipes and tubes. I've seen people do it where they say you've got an exhaust on the back of a vehicle.
Yeah.
You've got the muffler. You paint it a light grey colour. Then you do some splodges on it of a white colour.
Yeah.
Like just random splodges. And then when you go over with the rusty colour like this. Oh, that's the Mama Wolf. 1 second. Don't know what that's about. I shall be back in a moment.
Yeah, no worries. I'll scroll up because we're getting told off by Lynn for missing someone's belly and bench. So I'll sort that out whilst you're doing that. Yeah, we're going as fast as we can, Muse. I've got my other one going now, so I don't have to use the iPad. Coffee as usual, no food. Holiday cards on the bench. If I have your Addy, watch your mailbox. If I don't, and you'd like one, get your info to me. Absolutely. Is that the one you was on about, Muse? Still scrolling up. I'll read Lynn's out just in case I didn't read it. I don't want to get told off again. Belly, maple glazed turkey. Tiptoe Gouda on honey wheat bread. Tortilla chips with salsa. Beverage H2O. Bench, nothing at the moment. Paul J. Lewis, chicken casserole with crusty bread to dip. Bench, Ella 124 BMW 328 Endurance. Beverage, Coca-Cola. Joseph Kelly, Bon Betty, Belly even, cornbread and coffee. Bench, AMT Myers Manx June Buggy. Gold Grit, Belly, loaded cheese pizza and chicken wings. Bench, nothing. Beverage of choice, cup of Rosie Lee. Do you guys ever need to cut off location pegs even for a snap model kit? It depends, really. You know, sometimes I find the location pegs to be either too long or not quite a great fit. So a lot of the time I scrape them off, if I'm honest. Someone else's bench, who was it? I think it was Andy McLeish. I have returned. I was at KFC and retrieved the following: Trilogy box meal, Zinger Tower burger, pot cold, chicken fries, beans, chicken strips, and a large tango. Darren Evans, Belly, Tang Telly, bench, finishing me fiance's Lego Max Christmas display, beverage, a pint of ghost shit. Oh, nice. That's you saying look back for my bench of Belly. Didn't I just do that? Let's look back again. Thought I'd just read yours. Might have done. I think I did. Let's carry on going back and have a looky-loo. That's Matthew saying happy birthday. I think it might be when you was on about your addresses. I'm sure I've read that one. Let's have a look. Yeah, coffee as usual, yeah. Andy McLeish's Belly and Bench. You says nautical theme, love the boxes as much as the brushes. Yeah, I've seen the Artist Opus box sets. They are nice. Lynn says I'll stick with her brushes. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's one of them, you know. I mean, when I was chatting to Si, you know, I had the choice between Artists or Broken Toads, and I was kind of convinced to go the Broken Toad route, to be honest with you. I've got no problems with it. They do what they say on the tin. And as Marcy says, take good care of them, yeah. Matthew Ward says, just look up Broken Toad's brush and they're only round the corner. Yeah, I got the set of 4. And it is the miniature series number 3, Mark 3, I think it was, that I got. Came in their own rather splendid box, but I tend to keep them in the lid with me miniature brushes. And yeah, Kalinsky brushes, Kalinsky sable, happy days. Had no issues with them, found them a really nice brush, to be honest with you. Yes, there's all mugs and T-shirts for patrons. Yeah, consider becoming a patron if you aren't one, everyone. Yeah, I'm a bit late on some of them, but I've been trying to hold on so I can do a big order all at once, because it's cheaper for me to get them shipped that way from Vistaprint. Otherwise, you know, they want 13 quid a mug, and yeah, it's a lot of money. So, yeah, Candygram says I got my email. I'll reply today. Yeah, no worries. Just let us know. I mean, it's probably going to be New Year, because I've got Vistaprint to print them all. They've got to ship them to me, and then I shall sit and ship them all out from here. Because the last time I got them to ship them out individual, they was charging me 13 quid a pop, and it, yeah, killed me, if I'm honest. So I will get it all bulk ordered and sent to me, and then T-shirts and mugs and that I can send from here.
Hello.
Lynn Simple says, yeah, you can also join the 24/7 hangout. Yeah.
Right. I'm going to have to call the show to an end.
Yeah, no, that's all right, mate.
Because Mama Wolf has taken poorly.
Yeah, no, that's all right, mate.
So, unfortunately, I do apologise for the sudden finish.
No, not a problem, mate. She's not well, mate. Family first.
Yeah, she's having a bit of a rough day today.
Yeah.
So, take care, everybody. Thank you very much all for watching. Don't worry about Mama Wolf. She'll be fine. She's just a bit poorly today.
Yeah, yeah.
But thank you, everyone, for watching, despite the sudden finish.
Hey, mate, it's 7:20 anyway, Fox, so, you know.
I think we've done well today. We should carry on with that next. It needs to dry anyway. For all
yeah. Not a problem, mate. Get off and sort Mum out. I'll do the goodbyes, mate.
All right. Well, take care, everyone. We shall see you all soon. And I'd see you tomorrow, probably, for the Models Monday, hopefully.
Yeah, no worries. We'll catch up with you tomorrow, folks. Not a problem. Like I say, Mama Fox is just having a bit of a blarpy day. And we'll catch up with you on the next one, folks. So see you soon.
Take care, everyone. Bye.